This is a Power BI native visual, which is transformed from this one. And I think you already know that this is nothing but our favorite Power BI matrix visual. If you want to make your matrix or table visual more attractive, this video is for you. And for this, we are not going to use any custom visual. So without a further ado, let's get into it. Alright, I have this sample sales dataset, and I have created this visual. I used region and order priority in rows, shipment mode as column and number of orders as values. This visual is pretty much giving me the correct information about region-wise orders and its priority. To make it more attractive like this one, we will write just one DAX measure, which will take care of everything. And as promised, we will not use any custom visual for this. If you have watched some of the previous videos, you will already have an idea about the measure which I am going to create. First of all, from this website, I will take the SVG codes for rectangle, SVG code for line, and for this text. So I will copy this SVG code. In my Power BI desktop file, I will create a new measure. This measure name I can keep as my measure. First of all, paste the SVG code of the rectangle. Since this is a DAX measure, I need to replace all these double quotes to single quotes and remove the unwanted options. This is the value which I am going to use. Here I have adjusted the SVG size and the rectangle's X and Y position. Additionally, I will add this encoding because I am going to use the codes as image. Alright, let's enclose this entire text inside double quotes and see how this looks if we use this as value measure for our matrix visual. So, I will select the visual and drag the newly created measure. I am seeing this raw codes because I have not categorized my measure as image URL, and once I change the category, I immediately see a bunch of bars in value area of my matrix visual. And this is the time to add some DAX flavor to this SVG measure. But before that, I will copy this rectangle code 3 times because I want to show these bars for order priorities, which are high, medium, and low. I will adjust the X position of these bars. Since I need to make the height of these bars dynamic, I will use some DAX tricks. I will add few variables for the dynamic values. And this output I will store inside my return statement. These are the 3 variables I am going to use for the Y positions of my high, medium, and low bars. These supporting measures I have already created. And this is nothing but the percentage share of the high priority orders over the total number of orders. And similar expressions for medium and low priority orders. One important thing to note here is, the X and Y position starts from the top left corner and trace towards right and down for X and Y movements. I am considering 1000 as base, because the total height is 1200, and I also need to add some text values above the bars. Here I am replacing the hard-coded Y values with my dynamic variables. Since this is inside DAX, I need to keep it inside double quotes. Similarly, I will replace for medium and low priority as well. With that, if I save this measure, I see dynamic heights for my bars. If you want, you can dynamically change the colors of these bars as well. But I will use some fixed colors. For example, I am using light gray for medium and gray for low priority orders. Alright. With this, my bars are ready, and now I need to add the X-axis text and then the value text on the top. So once again, I will open this website. Go to the text option and copy the SVG code for the text element. I will adjust it based on my requirement. Since I need 3 texts, I will repeat it for 3 times for high, medium, and low. Adjust the X positions and click on this check button. With this, we got into this issue where these texts are overlapping to the bars. And to adjust that, I will make the height of these bars dynamic. So my next set of variables will take care of this issue. I will replace these hard-coded heights with my height variables, same way as we did for the Y positions. Now I can see that my X-axis values are placed correctly. If you want, you can also add this line element, so that you will have the base line for the X-axis. Now is the time to add the order numbers as value above each bars. So I will again need 3 text elements. But this time I need the values and the Y-axis both dynamic. So I will add these variables, which will be used to count the number of orders under high, medium, or low priority. And then these variables to have dynamic Y position to place these values just above the bars. Now I will go to these 3 text elements and add the variables for Y positions and the values. Finally, we are ready with our solution. This way, you can wrangle around these SVG codes and create amazing visuals for your Power BI solutions. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for many such interesting videos on Power BI and Microsoft Fabric. Post your feedbacks and suggestions in comment box.